I'm the go. Oh, you hit that. There
All
we
right,
go.
the go live button. Yeah, it is time. It is time to go live. Today's episode is going to be all about, well, what it takes to be on our team and who we are and why you want to join the Pipeline team of San Diego. Stay tuned to find out. That's not it. It's all the way at the bottom.
The Carrier Experience Podcast is a show for anyone who wants to grow their agency and be a titan of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the insurance bro, James Cias.
I don't think it'll ever get old.
Every time I hear that, the insurance bro, Alex, you are the man. Alex Gomez is my good friend from, I met him doing karaoke. I met this guy doing karaoke down the street from my old.
The voice guy has
the voice guy
karaoke.
He was our karaoke DJ when I first started doing karaoke a couple years back. Super talented, obviously, behind the microphone. If you are interested in his voiceover services, give him a follow over on the Instagram, Alex_behind. You know what? Alex behind the mic. I don't know where the underscores are. I know there's underscores in there, but Alex behind the mic. Awesome guy, super talented, obviously, and super excited to have him help us out. But
Got to give him the round of applause.
Got to give him the round of applause. The other thing that I was thinking is I know what we're going to leave as far as feedback for StreamYard. I want to be able to drag our clips around the board to make them, more.
I was thinking the same thing. Actually.
More where I want them. So, but anyway. So, welcome to episode 2 of the Carrier Experience podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the Carrier Experience, but Pipeline is going to be the carrier. We're not a carrier. Okay, let me just, legal issues or anything like that. Let me just throw it out there. We're not a carrier. We are an agency. We've got a team of agents. We've got staff. We've got people on our team that do all kinds of jobs. We're not a carrier, though. But I am going to talk about the experience and what it's like to be part of the Pipeline team of San Diego. Since you mentioned, Hernan, you got to point this way again. You mentioned that you wanted me to take you to school, take you as if you're getting onboarded as a new agent. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give people a preview of what it's like when you join the Pipeline team of San Diego. So first, we'll talk history, right? So who is the Pipeline team of San Diego from all the way back in 2009?
Dang, it feels so long ago now.
It is. It's over a decade.
I know, that blows my mind. Okay, yeah. Dang,
Can you believe it?
A lot older now. I mean,
goodness.
Time, dude.
Your 20-year anniversary was
supposed
to be a couple months ago. What happened with that? Just out of curiosity.
It's not 20 years yet. We technically started dating in 2001.
No, I meant your 20-year graduation, 20-year high school reunion.
COVID kind of stopped that one, so I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm hoping, high school graduation. Yeah, that's
what I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, you're old.
I had something. Yes, definitely old. Thank you for.
Mine's next year.
Yeah.
No, I got the CS hair genes. But anyway, so all the way back in 2009 is when Pipeline Insurance gets started, right? You got two gentlemen, two very intelligent, smart guys. One of them is the CEO and son of the famed Mike Russ of the Mike Russ Schools. So James Russ is partner number 1. And then you've got on the other side a man who even in 2009 already had something like 15 years of experience in the insurance industry, Mr. Joe Zeller. So these two guys get together and they're like, hey, let's build an agency. You've got all kinds of new students coming through the school all the time, right? We have all of the appointments and we can get them a bunch more if we just get new agents to be on board. So they started with that and they brought on a whole ton of agents, but most of the ones that they brought on already had experience. So they didn't actually start with the inexperienced folks. They started with the experienced ones and said, hey, all of you people that know how to write insurance, let's all come on board. We'll give you these huge contracts. You guys sell a bunch of business, make a bunch of money, and we'll get more appointments that way.
Here's a toolbox, right? So it was a toolbox. Of a bunch of stuff. Figure out how to use it, right? That was the initial. That was the idea, the original thought. And funny enough, they didn't think far enough ahead to figure out their accounting. So I remember you telling me stories of these guys getting Excel spreadsheets and all of the agents going through the spreadsheets and just highlighting this one's mine, this one's mine, this one's mine, this one's mine. It wasn't very organized, but I mean, this is one of those testaments to start ugly, right? It doesn't start ugly. Get started. Go out there and start generating revenue. Start making money. We'll figure out how to sort that stuff after. Let's just go out and make money. So the fact that they went out and said, okay, let's just start earning income. That's a great way to start, because now they have a problem of how to pay people, right? That's a good problem to have.
Enter Hernan Cias, right? 1 year later, you get Hernan on board, and he puts together a system and puts together all of the general accounting practices. And this is 2010. So I'm still in the middle of my Navy career. By 2010, I've been in the Navy for 4 years. I've done 2 deployments. 2010, I was getting ready to go on my 3rd deployment. So we were just getting ready to get out of the shipyards on the USS Enterprise. And we're just getting ready to get out of the shipyards and go on our 3rd deployment, my 3rd deployment with that ship. So I wasn't even a thought yet.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I didn't even really know what insurance was about at that time. I was just like, all right, I recently graduated, had my degree in accounting. I happened to be teaching tax school for Mike Russ. And so the partnership was presented to me, and they're like, we can't pay you, but as we grow, we'll figure something out. And here's the whole concept, right? And so the concept was thrown at me, and I was like, yeah, I got time. Why not? Let's build a company.
If you don't have money, you've got time, right? And you can invest one or the other. So that's where the ball started rolling. One of those agents that they brought on was our partner, former partner, Armando, who is a genius when it comes to all things commercial insurance. Definitely a very, very intelligent guy. And they ran that way for about those 3 years, up until I got out of the Navy. And when I got out of the Navy, that's when I jumped right into this insurance thing with you, right? Like we were talking about yesterday. What are you going to do with your time? I'm going to go to school. Okay, fine. You're starting this insurance agency with me.
Right.
Love that.
Get down to business.
Now, for anybody who's new listening, Hernan and I have been in business together for about those 20 years that we were just talking about. We bought our first house when we were 19 and 20 years old. Within 6 months of buying that house, I lost my decently paying job. I had a really good job as a cable guy, as a cable guy. Cable guy. That's another Jim Carrey one we need. So I lost that job and had to figure out how to make some money. So that was when we started our computer repair company. And a couple years into that, I got my heart broken, joined that Navy, where I was spent 7 years, 7 months, and 21 days, and left you holding the ball of this computer company that you didn't know anything about. So basically, when I got out of the Navy, I knew I owed you, and basically whatever business stuff that we were going to do, I'm all in. You got it. Let's do it.
That's it, dude. That's it. So when you came out, and I never held you to like one of those negative standards of you owe me. It was always even when you got out.
That was on me.
Yeah, that was on me. Even out the military, I was like, yo, dude, like I got this opportunity. I think it'd be a really cool idea. You should try it. And it literally my sales pitch to you has always been, come with me. Let me show you what I'm doing. If you like it, come on. And the only thing I ever really, really dragged you on was this whole podcast thing. Well, the Business Bros one anyways.
The Business Bros one. And it worked out,
It worked out.
it worked out. So here we go. 3 years later, 2013, I jump into Pipeline Insurance. Now, up to this point, it's pretty much been a lot of experienced agents, people that have been in the industry for quite some time and have known exactly what to do in the insurance space. I was probably the greenest person in the room. Like we were talking about yesterday on the show, I went to that first meeting. They were talking all kinds of insurance jargon that I had no clue. I had no idea what they were talking about. I buy my insurance, right, from Geico or USA, whatever the company was that I was with back then. I don't know what I'm buying, right? Not really. It was Allstate back then. Anyway, but I had no idea, had no clue. So yeah, I was just super green, had no idea what the heck I was doing. And Pipeline at that time did not have a training system. The training system back then was, hey, here's this agent, spend 2 days with her and, figure it out from there.
Answer any questions she has, but she doesn't even know what questions to ask. Or you know what I mean? Right. Like, you as the agent walk in thinking, all right, let me learn something. And it's like, here's your logins. Now go sell insurance.
Basically, yeah.
How do I do that?
That was the extent of it. And I mean, this agent who was there, I mean, she was awesome. Still consider her a friend, and I think that she's an amazing person. But the training curriculum just wasn't there. So you and I had an opportunity to buy a book of business. Another agent from Pipeline wanted out of the insurance industry, wanted out of his contract, wanted out of his office. So we were like, okay, sure. Here's an opportunity. Let's do it. And I think at that time I had been licensed probably about 6 months or so. So I had probably sold a handful of policy, maybe 2 handfuls of policies, right? Maybe like 10 policies, give or take. So basically it was a dive head first, or how do we used to say it? Ready, fired, worry about the aim later.
Yeah, fire, ready about the ready, aim later. And here's the thing about that book of business we ended up buying. The agent didn't really keep things in order. It was very much in a culture part of town where we shake hands and we got a deal versus actually signing contracts. Mm-hmm. And so when we walked into that thing, it was problem after problem after problem. Ugh. But that was one of the greatest learning curves you'd ever come across.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I went from a learning curve that looked kind of like this to, I bought this business. Here we go. Whoop! That's my learning curve. It just hockey sticked like all the way up, which was fantastic. One of the things that I was doing at that time, I was going to school. Right. I had signed up. So not only did I get my insurance license, but I was using my GI Bill to get my degree in business administration with a focus on project management and finance. The project management part really tickled my fancy. That's where I feel like I've really grown the most. I mean, finance is cool too. I'm still trading my stocks and doing a lot of stuff, but project management was really where I felt like my focus could really be, and I could really be successful. One of the reasons why is because of my time in the Navy. So in the Navy, we talk a lot about maintenance of ships and parts and tools and like all the stuff that we do. The reason why the USS Enterprise ran for 55 years or 60 years or whatever it ended up being was because we were constantly doing maintenance. And so we literally had a sheet that said, read a step, do a step. So step 1, grab the Phillips number 2 screwdriver. Okay, got it. Now point it at that bolt or that screw, whatever, and turn counterclockwise until it falls out. Like literally just sailor proof, right? And
step
I mean, even to the point where we had to verify that it was the correct type of screwdriver because it had a little serial number on the side. And it's so methodical and meticulous the way that they. So I don't think it means what you think it means. I mean, it's true. It's methodical and meticulous, but it's crazy. But yeah, so I used all of that knowledge and decided, okay, I don't know what the heck I'm doing in insurance, so let me first start by writing down the steps. Like, what's the first thing that I have to do? The very first thing that I have to do, I have to get a lead, right? Step number one, get a lead generation. All right. And then all the way, just after I get the lead, what do I do next? After I get the, after I create the customer profile in my agency management system, what do I do next? Okay, I have to get the information for the customer. Okay, now I've got the information. What do I do next? Just all of these different things, just working it down and writing each of these steps. And boom, we have a manual. We have a starting point. We're like, okay, with this 10-step process, not only do I know what to do every time I write an insurance policy, I can teach people what to do to write an insurance policy. So that was a super exciting moment. That was a really exciting time as I grew into running my own agency. I also grew in the ability to scale my agency.
Step by step.
Absolutely, step by step, mistake after mistake. That's one of the big things I think that stops insurance agents from truly being successful. I can't tell you how many I've talked to that they sell auto insurance and all they sell is auto insurance, and they don't want to venture into homeowners. They don't want to venture into commercial. They only want to do auto insurance because that's what they know. That's what they love. That's what they've been doing for however many years. And they're afraid to make mistakes. You know what? Mistakes are just opportunities to learn.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Exactly.
But that's how you figure it out.
That's how you figure it out. Fail forward. I talked about this I made a post on LinkedIn. And the post said, episode 1 was a smashing success. Right. And then ... underneath. And I'm like, okay, so I kind of fumbled my way through episode 1. But you know what? If I'm not failing, I'm not trying.
Right.
So that's always kind of been my approach. I'm going to dive head first. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make mistakes and I'm going to learn from those mistakes. And I'm going to try to read books or, whatever I can to find out the mistakes that other people have made so that I can avoid those pitfalls too. But the bottom line is we're human and we learn best by making mistakes.
Right. So you wrote 10 steps. 10 steps to write insurance.
I wrote 13 steps to writing insurance.
Oh, you wrote 13. You've narrowed it down.
I narrowed it down to 10.
Okay. All right. So tell me, once you start writing these steps, once you start creating this process so that, and here's something that's key to what you were doing there, setting up all these SOPs is from day one, from the very beginning, you were handling a lot of these insurance policies. You were writing a lot of the policies, rewriting, doing the research with the carriers, getting signatures that were missing, making deposits, doing all the nitty-gritty inside. But you started to build with these 10 steps, a process so that you can work on your business versus working in your business. And that's one of those things where you talked about, agents that stuck to just writing auto and that's all they're going to ever do. And that's all they want to do. And they stick to it. Part of it is because that's all they're willing to learn. That's all they're willing to know. And that's all they're willing to teach somebody else if somebody else comes in. So you've developed 13 steps, right? So what happens after that 13 steps? What's the next big thing?
After that, we formed the pipeline team of San Diego. So when I wrote those 13 steps, they were mostly for me and anybody that I might hire for my office. But then a couple of years later, 2015, we formed the pipeline team of San Diego. That was you, me, James Russ, Armando, and our silent partner, Mr. Michael Mitchell over there. So 5 of us all together. And basically the idea was, okay, now we have the school. Now we have, all of these students that are always coming through the school, newly licensed and want to learn how to write insurance. And I've got 13 steps, a 13-step process that's going to teach them how to do it every time. So it was great. We were recruiting like crazy. We were growing like crazy. We spent those first 3 years, 2015, 2016, and 2017, just growing And do you remember the explosive growth that we had?
It was awesome, dude. We were adding like 2 or 3 agents a month, something like that. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And it brought on a whole variety of new problems, right?
Oh God, yes.
Everything from verifying their license to making sure that we had appointed them correctly, making sure that we had maybe subcodes depending on the carrier, processes for depositing trust money, like all these different things that you don't think about until you start adding 5, 10, 15 agents, in the last couple months. All of a sudden you're like, everybody has a mind of their own. And if you don't have a training system, if you don't have a process that they learn that is same across the board, no matter what, the culture of the company all the way through, they're going to go out and solve the problem themselves because they got to get the business done. And the way they solve it may not line up with what you've taught them if you didn't teach them a process to solve that problem.
100%. 100%. And that is what got us into the hottest water in 2017. In 2017, we started losing appointments.
Brutal.
It was brutal. We had all of these agents that were coming on, but where my 13 steps failed was in not teaching the agents what to look for and how to keep our companies profitable. So that's a big thing for insurance agencies, for insurance agents out there. When you are writing and selling a policy, it's really easy, albeit unethical, to add a false spouse, right? So that somebody can be marked as married. Why? Because being married is a discount in auto insurance. It's really easy to say that your customer drives 30 miles in one direction to get to work every day, and you just lower that down to maybe 12 miles. So instead of listing them as driving 30,000 miles a month, 30,000 miles a year, they're down to like 12,000 miles a year. But all that does is, great, you sell the policy, but now that insurance company is not collecting enough premium for the amount of risk that they're taking. So as you sell more and more policies that way, you're going to wind up in a situation where you're selling, your customers are filing more in claims than you're selling in premium. That gives you an upside down loss ratio, makes the company unprofitable, and results in you losing that appointment. So that's where we ended up, unfortunately, in 2017. We were unprofitable for those companies, and they didn't want to do business with us anymore.
That was harsh, man, because up until that point, I mean, and you don't know what you don't know in business, right? Up until that point, it was all about how much premium can we write, right? That was our main focus. And so if we can generate a process to get agents on board, which we did, we had a great, we had a lot of appointments, we had a lot of access to financing, and we had all kinds of cool stuff as part of our arsenal. So we would go out and recruit agents. And that was great, but because we didn't guide them in the direction, it hurt us. It came back to bite us in a way we didn't expect. And here's the downside to that. Agents that were writing properly, ethically, correctly, operating the way they were supposed to, were also hurt by this mistake, right? Because
absolutely true.
Because if Pipeline loses an appointment, everybody that's under Pipeline loses that appointment. And so that was, and that was a hard pill to swallow at one point, but it since has made us that much more efficient, right?
Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Exactly. So you picked yourself back up. So what happened after that, Ham? What happened after we lost some appointments? We had to go back to the training wheel and revamp a couple things.
We didn't have to revamp a couple of things. We had to revamp almost everything when it came to training and onboarding and figuring out how to make sure that our agents are writing the right kind of business with the right kinds of carriers. I mean, we went all the way back to step one. We were originally giving access to all of the carriers, to all of the agents, and here, write whatever you can, go for it, have fun. And that that was what bit us. So we turned it around. We stripped that authority from the majority of agents. We made sure that as we released the authority again, we trained them properly. We told them exactly what type of policies that each of these carriers was looking for. We came up with new rules, regulations. I think that's when I really expanded our code of ethics. So at this point, when you join the Pipeline team of San Diego, there's a 3-page code of ethics that we teach in our orientation that goes through who we are as a company, what we expect from you, and what you can expect from us. So as you go through the orientation, you definitely learn all of those things. And it's those things that we teach that say, hey, look, when you're writing insurance for specific companies, we need you to know who they are and what kind of customer they want. There are companies out there that want the 1530 state minimum, Joe Schmo with a DUI and, an old jalopy car, right? There are companies out there that want that kind of business
all day long.
And all day long. And there are companies out there that want the married homeowner with 2 cars who is hopefully a business owner also, and we can round them out with a auto policy, a homeowner's policy, an umbrella policy, a life insurance policy. They're interested in disability insurance, right? Those types of companies are the preferred carriers, right? They look for preferred customers. And then you've got the standard or non-standard that, want the people with driving histories and, like the general. And those are that's like the main commercial that I remember seeing out there is the general. Yeah, we got you. You got stuff on your record. We got you. SR22. We got you.
That's those guys. Those guys are the ones who will they'll do a policy for like $9 a month or whatever it is, right? Something really, really low like that. Because that's they're after that churn and burn. They know that the broker fee is going to help them out. They know that the turnover rate there is going to be high. So that's the market. It's an appetite, right? Every single you're a business as well, right? You're an insurance agency. And we've evolved as an insurance agency as well. We have a certain appetite for a type of agent that we're looking for, right? And so just like we have a specific kind of agent that we're looking for, the insurance carriers have a specific type of client that they're looking for. And all we're doing is giving you the ability to walk into the buffet and decide where to take your plate, right? Take your plate to the carrier that has the greatest appetite for the type of business that you have, the kind of client that you have, and we teach you how to shop it. That's about it. That's the simplicity of it. But that process wasn't in place prior to that hiccup.
It was not in place prior to 2017. It had to grow to get to this point. And now, honestly, I'm super excited about where we are. We are at a point now where our onboarding process is super automated. There's all of the onboarding videos are pre-recorded. We have not only the onboarding orientation, which is a 5-hour total course, but we also have a sales and marketing training course that's about 30 hours where you get to learn the ins and outs of how to build a strong referral network in the insurance space. It's really cool. This was brought to us by our sales coach. Okay, we also have a sales coach on our team. Our sales coach, Suzanne Romo, she's working on a book, by the way. Once it comes out, it's going to be called, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I'm going to say it, whatever. I'm not going to say it just because I don't know what her deal is, but she is working on a book that is going to talk about exactly this, how to build an incredible network of referral partners. And not only is she writing the book, but as a member of the Pipeline team of San Diego, you have direct access to this amazingly smart person. So that's kind of where we are today. We are recruiting. We are looking for people who want to be part of the team. Give me a call. Follow me on all the social medias here. You can find me at Insurance Bro Ham. If you are interested in being an insurance agent, an agent for Pipeline Insurance, go to www.pipelineinsurance.com. Under the About section, look for Become an Agent. And you'll have a lot of information there.
Absolutely. Plus, if you are a salesperson who doesn't want to get into insurance, maybe you don't want to get a license, but you want to learn how to make some extra cash, we're always looking for recruiters. So if you're in the business of talking to professionals and recruiting them for certain things, we have a nice little lucrative plan that we'd love to share with you. So make sure you reach out to James at Insurance Broham or check out our website, pipelineinsurance.com.
Man, and tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be going over our program, the contract, what it looks like, what compensation will look like, and all this good stuff. So tune in tomorrow as well.
Check it out. All right, Ham. You know which one's the outro, right?
Or I know which one's the outro. Yeah, no, I got it. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. We'll talk again tomorrow. Love y'all.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Carrier Experience Podcast. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you are an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. You can find James on all social media at Insurance Broham.